If you haven't watched the finale of the Hashira training arc, stop watching this video, go watch that one, and then come back. Spoilers are ahead. Still here? Great. They've done it again. First with Rengoku and now with Ubuyashiki. This dude won my heart in one episode. He willed himself to stay alive for months, simply so he could have this face-to-face with Muzan. And everything he said was incredible, almost taunting Muzan that eternity and immortality is the human will, and that despite everything Muzan has done, and after 1,000 years, the Demon Slayer Corps still exists. Not only that, but after all this time, they haven't forgiven him. Or in other words, their desire to defeat him has not waned. The human will persists regardless of how many Slayers die. Whereas if Muzan dies, that's it. Demons are gone forever. Ubuyashiki saying Muzan stepped on the tiger's tail and awoke the dragon made him seem as menacing as Muzan, and in a way, he is. And that's saying a lot because the first 5 or so minutes of this episode make Muzan seem like the final boss of anime as a whole. The presence there is insane. The lengths that Ubuyashiki has and is going to defeat Muzan is crazy, especially for someone as young as he is, which I thought he was like 50, not 23, which makes it even more insane. I loved how they established that this was almost a selfish desire on his part too. This whole conquest started to save his clan and cleanse it of the demon that curses his bloodline. And yet, in this moment, despite 1,000 years of ancestors working to save the clan, defeating Muzan is the higher priority, and Ubuyashiki sacrifices his clan to set this plan in motion. And I totally thought that explosion came from Muzan, but the fact that it came from Ubuyashiki is both tragic and genius. He willingly sacrificed his wife and children to give his best shot at beating Muzan. He's insane, but awesome. And his plan was incredible. Exploding the entire facility with chemicals that slow Muzan's regeneration, having Tamio use blood demon art to keep him in place and try to inject him with a cure, having Guillaume ready to take his head off instantly, and because of the explosion, make the Hashira hate Muzan even more. It's such a clever plan, and on every level it could have, it worked. Unfortunately, we knew it'd be tougher to take out Muzan than losing his head, and he had an ace up his sleeve. For as genius as Ubuyashiki's plan was, Muzan's is even more so. We thought this whole season he was scoping out Hashira to steer clear and then find Ubuyashiki and Nezuko. Oh no, he was locating every demon slayer so he could wipe them all out at once. It's the perfect plan. And quick sidebar, can we talk about the visuals? This felt like a movie because every shot was so cinematic. The scene with Muzan and the balls lighting up, Guillaume taking Muzan's attacks head on in a Tengen-style fight, the tiger and the dragon sequence from the Ubuyashiki speech, and that explosion, my god, that explosion was absolutely beautiful on every level. When all the Hashira arrive at the mansion and Guillaume tells them it's Muzan and they have to fight until sunrise, I love how all of them have this nervous look on their face, but Tanjiro jumps right in, which then gets every single one of them to follow. It's how I envision Rengoku would have done it, which has been a theme of this season. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say Muzan sending everyone to the Infinity Castle is probably the greatest cliffhanger in anime history. Knowing we're getting a trilogy of movies following this, I don't think I've ever been more hyped for anything anime related ever. Also, every Hashira's reaction to being in the Infinity Castle varied from surprised to nervous, so I loved how Inosuke was all giddy to be there, and Zenitsu looked scarily calm, and then Tanjiro's immediately talking shit to Muzan. I cannot describe how blown away I was by the finale, from making Ubuyashiki a legend, to the visuals, to the perfect lead-in to this upcoming trilogy. I'm shook, man. This was some GOAT tier stuff.